Again, guys. Today we're gonna. Now we're going to read down, down, down into a sea of false line. I don't know how we pronounce this. This is fall or foul. I don't know. If you know the correct pronunciation, be sure to write it down in the comments. Okay. What do I do? I had to get that envelope. With a groan, I lifted up the grate and lowered myself into the mouse hole. It was dark, so very dark. My teeth began to chatter. Did I mention I'm afraid of the dark? Oh, of the dark and tight spaces. And the ding of the toaster oven. Oh, but that's another story for another time. I was wishing I had worn a glow-in-the-dark tie my cousin Chap had given me so I could see a little better. Just then I slipped down, down, down. I tumbled snap first in the darkness. Afterward, like seeing a million years, I landed with the sickening splash. I found myself floating in slimy green liquid. The smell was worse than the town dump. Welcome to the sewers of New Mouse City. I dragged myself out of the water and looked around. No sign of the envelope with the red seal, but I did see something shining and yellow. I blinked. A pair of glittering eyes stared at me through the darkness. My whiskers began to tremble. Who in the right mind would live down here in the sewer? Just then, the creature cackled softly. Ha ha ha. Was it laughing at me? Was it going to pounce on me? Was this how it would all end? I braced myself for an attack, but nothing happened. Instead, the yellow eyes took off into the darkness. At first, I was glad to see them go. Then I was even more scared. Without those eyes, the sewer was darker than the theater for a cheddar rival. 10 plex. Oh, sorry. That happens a lot. I follow those eyes. I chased them the entire night. I was exhausted. Finally stopped, turned around, and started chasing me. Finally, they stopped, turned around, and started chasing me. Rancid rat hairs! Now what am I supposed to do? Ha ha ha! The creature cackled. That was it. I was a goner. Oh, why hadn't I let my friend Cornelius help me? He was right. I was no good at protecting myself. I was always getting myself into these jams. The last time I tried to bake cookies, I got my tail stuck in the oven. My burning fur set off the smoke alarm. I was so embarrassed when the fire mice showed up at my doorstep. Help! Help! Somebody help me! I squeaked at the top of my lungs. Meanwhile, the yellow eyes zoomed in closer. Suddenly, I realized who they belonged to. An enormous crocodile. And even worse, it was holding the envelope with the red seal in his ferocious jaws. Cheese the blitz! I closed my eyes, wished for a miracle. I could hear the crocodile gnashing its teeth. Its breath smelled like rotten goat cheese. Hadn't this guy heard about the dangers of tooth decay? I was still thinking about these when someone grabbed me by the shoulder. I'm here to help, a familiar voice said. Again, I smelled a delicate perfume. I opened my eyes, but it was too dark. I could only see the eyes of the crocodile. They were staring right at me. The crocodile looked very hungry. Goodbye, Mouse World, I sobbed. Then I fainted. When I came to, I was back on the street. It was already dawn. I looked around, but I didn't see anyone. Who had saved me? Why had he disappeared? It was a real mystery. Up into Sally Ratmousen's office. I sat on the curb, feeling totally confused. What had just happened to me? How did I get out of the sewer? Who was my mysterious rescuer? But above all, what happened to the envelope with the red seal? That was between the crocodile's teeth. Do you know what happened next? A miracle. A real miracle. I looked up and there it was. The envelope. The wind had picked it up and carried it high above my head. It flew higher and higher. And an instant later, it slipped into an open window. There's the envelope with the red seal. Close to the tree. Not close like literally by the tree. There's only like an inch or a millimeter difference. And beneath that tree there is sad, exhausted, and confused, and humiliated, and worried Geronimo Stilton. Okay, that's gone. Double twisted rat tails. That window belonged to my biggest enemy, Sally Ratmousen. Do you know Sally? She is the owner of the Daily Rat. Her dream is to put the Rodent Gazette out of business. Now what am I supposed to do? Sally would never let me into her office. Firstly, I was covered in dirt and stinky, smelly slime from the sewer. And secondly, Sally hated me. I glanced at my watch. It was 8:30. Yikes! Only 30 minutes left. That's it. I decided I had no choice. I'm going in. I slunk up the steps of the Daily Rat and squeezed through the doors. I did it. I was in. I was so proud of myself, I barely noticed where I was going. Before I knew it, I was standing right outside of Sally's office. I peeked in. Sally was seated behind her huge crystal desk. The desk was empty except for one thing. I gulped. It was the envelope with the red seal. I was just about to dash in and grab it when Sally spotted me, or should I say smelled me. Geronimo Stilton, she shrieked. What are you doing in my office? You smell worse than the inside of Chattertron stables. Just then she realized I was staring at the envelope. I see I have something you want, she cackled. She picked up the envelope and fanned her snout. I didn't know what it was, but it was mine. Oh, okay. Well, sorry, I read this wrong. I don't know what it is, but it's mine. I groaned. I should have known Sally would never give up without a fight. I tried every trick in the books. Fire! Aliens! Run for your life! I squeaked, but Sally didn't budge. Then I had an idea. Sally, I hate to alarm you, I whispered, but you broke a pony. That did it. Sally flew into a frenzy. Where? She shrieked. It's mine. Sally, you broke a pony. Where? That's the first one, which says it's mine. That's Sally. Then Sally, you broke a pony. That's Geronimo. And where? That's Sally again. Okay. In a flash, I grabbed the envelope. I raced for the door, but I wasn't fast enough. Sally grabbed me by the tail. The envelope flew out of my paws. I watched in horror as it drifted out the window. I felt my heart sink. This was it. I'd never find that envelope again. I was dead rat. And maybe sooner than I thought, Sally's muscular bodyguard was staring at me like I was whipping a hot 3-cheese pizza. Muscle please take Muscle Rat, please take Mr. Sultan away. And make sure you teach him a lesson he'll never forget, she ordered with an ill smirk. Muscle Rat lifted me into the air with one paw. Holy cheese, that rodent was strong. I'm not the heaviest mouse in the world, but I'm no lightweight. Plus, I admit lately I've been cheating on my diet. Muscle Rat carried me down into the hall, then he locked me inside the broom closet. I heard you like dark places, he snickered. I felt dizzy. My paws started to sweat. My heart started to pound. I began to sob uncontrollably. Somebody help me, I wailed. Suddenly, I heard a click and the door opened. I felt someone grab my shoulder. The deep voice said, I'm here to help. The same delicate perfume I had smelled before filled my nose. I tried to say thanks, but I couldn't. I had fainted. Oh, look, this is our last chapter, and then we have 2 more, and then we're finished with this book. When I came to, I found myself outside. I was sitting on the sidewalk at the front of the Daily Rat. It was 8:45. I looked all around me, but I couldn't see anyone. Who had saved me? Why had he disappeared? I felt like I was on one of those true life mystery shows on TV. The case of the mysterious rescuer. Too bad everything wasn't going to work out perfectly in the end. I still hadn't found the lost envelope with the red seal. I stared at the ground, feeling glum. My grandfather would never let me live this one down. I'd be humiliated in all of my co-workers, and I had to leave the Gazette and have no money, no job. I'd wander the streets looking for food. Well, at least I know how to get to the town dump. Maybe I could find some scraps of moldy cheese. A tear slid down my forehead, then another, and soon I was bawling my eyes out. Just then I felt someone touch my shoulder. At the same time, I smelled that perfect perfume. Again, I'm here to help, a deep voice said, and then it hit me. Not more garbage, no more seagull poop. It hit me who the voice belonged to. I jumped off the curb and I whirled around. I was right. The voice belonged to my old friend Cornelius. Yep. I was snout to snout with double OK and the fascinating double OV. How can we help you? They asked. I let out a long sigh. I lost an envelope. Wait a minute. 1 second. A very important envelope, I moaned, and now my grandfather's going to kill me. For some reason, Cornelius, aka Double OK, and his sister Veronica, aka Double OV, looked at each other and smiled. A large envelope, Double OK said, with a red seal, said Double OV. My jaw hit the ground. These secret agents were unbelievable. I had no idea they were mind readers. I nodded, awestruck. Then Cornelius handed me something. My eyes nearly popped out of my fur. It was the envelope. But how? When? What? I spluttered. Cornelius just grinned. We secret agents work in mysterious ways, he said. His sister Double OV nodded and wondered if they could read my now. I was so happy I felt like I had just won a lifetime supply of cheesy chews. So that is it for this video. I will I will meet you in the next video. In the next video, we will only have 2 chapters because this book is finishing in exactly 2 chapters. Yay! We've managed to finish a book in 1 day, or should I say 5 hours. Okay, goodbye.